Hey there, future checker champions. Ever played a game that's both brain-bending and a blast? That's checkers for you. It's like a dance-off for your mind, but instead of fancy footwork, you've got strategic jumps and cunning captures. This ain't just a game, it's a battle of wits on a checkered field. It's about outsmarting your opponent, predicting their moves, and leaving them in the dust, or should I say squares. Imagine the thrill of planning your next move, the excitement of capturing an opponent's piece, and the satisfaction of seeing your strategy unfold perfectly. But don't worry, even if you're new to the game, this guide will have you playing and winning like a pro in no time. We'll start with the basics, like how to set up the board and the rules of movement. Then we'll dive into more advanced tactics like double jumps and setting traps for your opponent. You'll learn how to think several moves ahead, anticipate your opponent's strategy, and adapt your game plan on the fly. And the best part, the more you play, the better you'll get. Practice makes perfect, and soon you'll be the one teaching others how to play. Get ready to unlock the secrets of checkers, from basic moves to advanced tactics. We'll cover everything from opening strategies to endgame techniques, ensuring you have all the tools you need to dominate the board. Trust me, once you get a taste of victory, you'll be hooked. So grab your checkerboard, gather your friends, and let's embark on this checkered path to fun and mastery together. The world of checkers awaits you. Before we dive into the action, let's get acquainted with the battlefield, your very own checkerboard. It's a square board with 64 alternating light and dark squares, like a delicious chocolate and vanilla checkerboard cake, but, less delicious and more strategic. You and your opponent each command an army of 12 pieces called checkers, which are placed on the dark squares. Think of them as your loyal soldiers, ready to conquer the board. Your goal? Capture all your opponent's pieces or block them so they can't move. Sound simple? Well, hold on to your hats because things are about to get interesting. Alright troops, time to learn some moves. Checkers is a game of strategy and skill, and mastering the basic moves is the first step to becoming a champion. In checkers, your pieces, also known as men, move diagonally forward one square at a time. This means you can only move to the dark squares on the board. Think of it as a diagonal march across the board. Each move should be calculated and deliberate, setting you up for future opportunities. But here's where it gets exciting. Capturing. Capturing is not just about removing your opponent's pieces, it's about gaining a strategic advantage. If an opponent's piece is diagonally adjacent to yours, and the square behind it is empty, you can capture it by jumping over it. This move can turn the tide of the game in your favor. Think of it as a strategic leapfrog. Each capture not only removes an opponent's piece but also advances your position on the board. The captured piece is removed from the board, and you get to advance your piece. This can open up new opportunities for further captures or strategic positioning. Now here's a pro tip. Always be on the lookout for capture opportunities. Sometimes, the best move is not the most obvious one. Sometimes you might even be able to chain multiple jumps together, capturing several pieces in one glorious move. This is called a double jump or multiple jump, and it can be a game changer. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you play, the better you'll get at spotting these opportunities and making the most of them. So get out there and start playing. With these basic moves and captures under your belt, you're well on your way to mastering the game of checkers. Good luck, and have fun! Remember how I said your pieces are like loyal soldiers? Well, in checkers, even soldiers can get promoted. If you manage to maneuver one of your pieces all the way to the opposite end of the board, that piece gets a royal upgrade. It becomes a king. Now, what's so special about being a king? Well, for starters, kings can move and capture both forward and backward diagonally. They're like the superheroes of the checkerboard, able to zip around with greater freedom and capture power. Crowning a king is a major step towards victory, so always be strategic and try to create a clear path for your pieces to reach the other side. In checkers, as in life, it's all about location, location, location. Controlling the center of the board is key to gaining an advantage. Why? Because pieces in the center have more movement options and can easily control key diagonals. Think of it like this. A piece on the edge of the board is like a wallflower at a party limited options and not much going on. But a piece in the center? That's the life of the party, with plenty of moves and capture opportunities. So, from the very beginning, try to occupy and control the center squares. It'll give you a strategic edge and make it harder for your opponent to outmaneuver you. While it's tempting to go all out on the offensive, a good checker player knows the importance of defense. Protecting your pieces is just as crucial as capturing your opponents. One defensive tactic is to avoid leaving your pieces vulnerable to capture. Don't leave them stranded on isolated squares or in positions where they can be easily picked off. Instead, try to keep your pieces connected, supporting each other like a well-coordinated team. Another important defensive strategy is to anticipate your opponent's moves. Think a few steps ahead and try to predict their next capture or king-making move. By anticipating their plans, you can block their attacks and keep your pieces safe. Remember how I mentioned chaining multiple jumps together? Well, that's where things get really interesting. Setting up multiple captures, also known as double or triple jumps, is a surefire way to decimate your opponent's forces. To set up a multiple jump, you need to position your piece in a way that forces your opponent to leave a piece vulnerable to a chain of captures. It requires careful planning and a bit of cunning, but the payoff is huge. Imagine jumping over one piece, then another and another like a checker-eating machine. It's not just about capturing pieces, it's about demoralizing your opponent and seizing control of the board. As the game progresses and pieces start dwindling, you'll enter the endgame. This is where strategic thinking and careful planning become even more critical. Every move counts, and one wrong step can cost you the game. In the endgame, it's important to focus on promoting your remaining pieces to kings. Kings are your endgame powerhouses, able to control the board and force your opponent into making mistakes. Another crucial aspect of the endgame is avoiding stalemates. A stalemate occurs when a player on their turn has no legal moves. In checkers, a stalemate is a draw, so it's essential to keep your pieces mobile and avoid getting trapped. It's your move! The moment you've been waiting for is here. So there you have it. Future checker champions. You've embarked on a journey through the world of checkers, learning the basic moves, the art of capturing, and the power of kings. Each move you make is a step towards mastering this timeless game. You've also picked up some essential strategies to dominate the board. Remember, every game is a new opportunity to refine your skills. Now it's time to put your newfound knowledge to the test. Gather your friends, family, or even challenge a stranger to a friendly game of checkers. Remember, practice makes perfect, and every game you play is a chance to learn something new. Don't be afraid to experiment, try new strategies, and most importantly, have fun. The joy of checkers lies in its simplicity and the endless possibilities it offers. Whether you're playing with children or adults, the game brings people together, creating moments of laughter and friendly competition. Checkers is a game of skill, strategy, and a little bit of luck. Each move you make can change the course of the game, but with practice and determination, you can anticipate your opponent's moves and plan your strategy accordingly. Every game is a learning experience, and with each match, you'll find yourself getting better and better. You can become a true checker master. Now go out there, make those jumps, crown those kings, and show the world what you're made of. Celebrate your victories, learn from your defeats, and most importantly, enjoy every moment of the game. The world of checkers awaits you.